Hi, Adam Savage here. Welcome to a new episode of Tested VR. Today I'm going to be talking about puppets. I actually have a whole collection of puppets, and I'm going to show and talk about a couple of wonderful pieces from my collection. And the first one is obviously this beautiful dragon. This dragon was a commission. I first saw the work of this artist, Kat Winslade, on Twitter in 2018. And I saw her with a dragon just like this, and I was like, this is magnificent. I love the interactivity. I love it looking like the puppet is hanging off me. And so I commissioned one from Kat, and she made this after getting a whole bunch of detailed measurements of my body, my arm size, so it's literally sculpted for me. And this is I've often said that prop collecting is an exercise in disappointment. Right? You pay for something, you wait for months to receive it, it arrives, and it never quite matches up to your expectations. The opposite is true with this beautiful dragon. In fact, once it showed up, I got to get a really deep insight into Kat's whole working process, which uses very simple tools and materials. This is a lot of craft foam and fabric and just paint and PVA from what I can see. A beautiful pair of eyes and a terrific sculpt, and the way she joins all these materials together and makes them work together is what really sells the magic. And this, the wing claw holding on to my shirt while he talks, strangely enough, I have not named this dragon yet. I know I should come up with a name, but I haven't yet. I guess I've been kind of waiting for one to occur to me. But this is something that I really like to point out to people, that we're in a wonderful age of the internet where if you see something by an artist you like, because of places like DeviantArt and Etsy and other places that really foment a relationship between creators and potential purchasers, it's a great time to commission stuff. So if you see something you think is great on Etsy, but you want a slightly different version, reach out to that seller. I've made some terrific maker friendships over the years by doing that. And having a piece of Kat's incredible work in my collection, it feels great, right? Like, that's the thing. It's like there's this personal story attached to the thing above and beyond its wonderful aesthetic prowess. Oh, you're very, very welcome. I also apologize if my puppeteering is amateurish, because my puppeteering is amateurish. I have a lot of friends who are professional puppeteers, and I do not pretend to know their profession, but I am in awe of it. Yeah, it's absolutely true. Do you mind if I bring out Finn? Okay, we're going to take a quick cut here, and the dragon's going to go back into his dragon's lair, and I'm going to bring out my friend, Finn. Yeah. Okay, you look pretty.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Finn.
Hello.
Finn is a character that I built with master puppeteer Rick Lyon now 6 years ago. You're almost 6 years old.
Wow. I'm 6.
Finn is 6 years old and tested. We went to Rick Lyon's shop in New Jersey during New York Comic Con in 2015. And Rick is a master puppet maker. He designed and built all the puppets from Avenue Q. He's also made Muppets. He's known throughout the puppet world as a master of his craft. And I'm here to report this is true. And he is also a deeply lovely human being who's become a good friend. Rick took us in for the day with no plan. This was officially a one-day build.
One day?
Yeah, we went into Rick's shop with no preconceived notions about a puppet character, and with his amazing team, we built this in about 10 hours, which seems almost impossible to me now. There was so much to learn. Even now, I can't believe we got it done in a day. First of all, there's all the difficulties around sewing with fur. If you have ever worked with fur,
That feels good.
you're very welcome. If you've ever worked with fur, you'll know that when you cut it with scissors, you end up with little nerdy, hairy things all over your whole life. Well, it turns out that there's actually a technique to deal with that. And what you do is, excuse me, Finn, I'm sorry for showing some of the interiors of Finn, is the fabric, the fur has a backing. And the way you cut fur correctly is using a very sharp X-Acto blade from the back. And this way you only cut the backing and you don't cut that many hairs, like a tiny fraction of the amount if you used a pair of scissors. This single technique of cutting fur from the back in order to properly be able to work with it without covering yourself with it, it's not too much to say that it changed my life. I went right home and bought tons and tons of fur. I made a bear costume, which I took to San Diego Comic-Con. I couldn't even figure out a justification for the bear costume, so I dragged a carcass of Leonardo DiCaprio behind me. But it all began with Finn. So we started out with a rough head shape.
I like the shape of my head.
I like the shape of your head too. And then I knew that I wanted the eyes on stalks. And eyes are a really interesting aspect of Muppets. Frequently, for people like Cookie Monster, they'll have extra movement in it. That's an ancillary kind of, it's what they call ancillary movement. It gives a little more breath to the puppet. I decided against the googly eyes of Cookie Monster, and I went with these stalky eyes. And then I definitely knew I wanted fangs. And, well, he's been stored, so his fangs are a little bit beat up. But his fangs work the same way that the Count's fangs work. The Count, you know, 1, 2, the Count. He has fangs, and they are the same. They're little open cell urethane foam, and they just crush when the mouth closes. There's no receptacle for the fangs. They just, whoop, compress. We didn't think that day that we were going to get to legs, and yet we were so far ahead at about the 2 or 3 o'clock mark that one of Rick's people actually started making up the legs. We decided upon the size of feet, and lo, we ended up with an entire character.
And you found my voice.
Yeah, I found his voice. His voice,
Very much kind of a modified monster shmoo voice.
yeah, again, my apologies for my amateurish puppeting, but I am an amateurish puppeteer. I love Finn. I still feel a deep personal connection
Thank you.
to him all these years after he's been created. And he has sat near the entrance to my shop almost this entire time, greeting visitors as they come in.
I like to say hi.
Everyone likes to say hi to Finn, too. Finn, it's time to say goodbye.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Tested VR. We'll see you next time.
Bye. I want to look good for the camera.
I know you do.
Do I?
Yes, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Do you think your fur is a little bit choppy?
Yes, and it's concerning me.
Yeah, but you're a monster.
I am?
Yeah, you're a monster. All right.